Sound. While Tom's setting up, I'll do an intro then. So, welcome to the latest episode of Altar, and we're switching it up today where I'm getting a tattoo by my friend Tom Sykes, who was a previous guest. You might remember, well, I mean, how long has it been since you came on? About a year and a half, maybe? Just under?
Maybe just over. Because it was just as I was starting tattooing.
Yeah, so when was that, like 2023, back end?
Well, I started professionally, officially tattooing January 2024.
Opening this
studio, yeah.
So, yeah, if you don't know, we're in Altar, which is inside Osborn Works, which is in Drop Dead Church, Temple of Fun. It's in that building. There's all sorts of mad bits in here, isn't there?
Yeah, all sorts.
But yeah, also I should probably show. So, getting a hand tat, absolute job stopper. He's doing a Sheffield classic, Tinsley Towers.
We've spoken about this one for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, well, this whole idea stemmed from more than 6 months ago, probably.
Yeah.
When I still worked here, and now here we are just doing it.
Finally got round to it.
So you've got your quiet going, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you can
I'll
hear
put it
us
on
talking.
silent mode, yeah.
You watch, it's not going to go deep enough now.
Yeah.
We'll be right. So I guess this is a new format for even the pod. I don't even know what's like I said, I forgot my questions, so we're going to freestyle it. So start off how you always start off. How are you doing? What you been on with, Tom?
Good, mate. Yeah, good. Tattooing's been feeling good. Like I say, about a year and a half now since opening this place. Feels a lot longer, but then it also feels like yesterday.
I bet it's gone right quick.
Yeah. But it's gone quick, but feels like a lot's happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's because you've done. I mean, how many tats do you reckon you've done in that time?
I couldn't even count. I don't think it's.
That's a good sign, though. Sign you've been busy.
Yeah. It has been busy. I've been lucky.
I mean, I remember that day. Yeah, I mean, that was around last January when Bring Me played and they had the pop-up here. I think that's when the Drop Dead Mortuary opened as well, weren't it? The morgue. And that's when you opened.
I just started, yeah.
Yeah, I swear you had a queue all the way out. For Hector's and other Bring Me tats and whatnot.
Yeah, we did a bunch of flash days and it was a whole week. It was like Monday to Friday of just tattooing all day, every day. And I was just saying to you before, weren't I, that it was really daunting at first. Like, it was a scary thought, but best thing I probably could have done in terms of like getting stuck in and
straight in at deep end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, straight in at deep end. Like, just cracking on and just a lot of it. I didn't know back then, but a lot of it is muscle memory. It kind of needs to be muscle memory, especially in terms of like setup or cleanliness,
knowing where things are.
Yeah, it just becomes like second nature in terms of like, you can't be putting too much thought into it because you're doing it 5 times a day. It's got to be like, you just
flow.
It's just got to be like routine. And I think doing all those tattoos in that week just sped that process up like tenfold. You know what I mean?
I guess you got a bit precious. You've got to queue out the door, so you've got to probably go a bit quicker than you'd like to go.
Exactly. Yeah. It was scary, but it was also like best thing ever. Like, I mean, I think there's one thing I've kind of learned in my years is the scary stuff is always what causes you to grow the most. Do you know what I mean? If it feels daunting and like...
Yeah. There's definitely, I know the quote you're looking for, innit? It's like you got to step out your comfort zone to know what...
just to grow in general, just to kind of like... Even bold on that one. Just... fuck's sake.
Oh, man, what have you done? I've already nearly smashed the microphone up, Anna.
I know, yeah.
We've had a good start.
I'm not going to use that.
Professional, straight in needle bin. Straight in needle bin. This is a good sign, though. You're showing your practices.
Exactly, yeah. Let me find
this is why I'm enjoying, starting to step out of the studio with podcasts. It's like, let's go into other people's space and see how they work.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, I've got some artists lined up. I'm going to go in their studio and see how they do, like, some sign writing and stuff like that as well.
Who's that you're doing that with?
No, Ben, PMA. Oh,
Yeah,
I said that. I've got that lined up. You got that ready, I guess. Man like Enzo as well. He's said yeah.
Nice.
So a couple of things lined up.
Yeah,
But
cool.
again, I've been a bit slack with pod just because life, innit? Sometimes
Well, it's
you
like-
just get busy.
It's like you were saying as well when we were talking about doing this. It's kind of nice that you can just take it anywhere and do it. You kind of got this little setup now where, yeah, you can kind of just
We'll just go with the flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so here we are. Yeah.
Are you ready to start? Should we crack on?
I mean, this is it. Let's see. You might see some faces for the audience. Yeah, I mean, I've had this hand kind of done, so I'm used to it. But every tattoo sucks, so let's go.
I'll try my best to concentrate on the tattoo as well.
Please do.
While we're chatting.
I'll try and not talk too in depth where you're like, proper thinking. But yeah.
Again, it's just part of the job. I think a year and a half of doing it now, it's become second nature to just be chatting. I
remember when I seen you recently, you know, when you're just walking dogs and you were saying how much you like grip strength and stuff that's grown just from obviously holding that and stretching out skin.
Yeah, both hands. It's a process for sure.
Yeah. Oh, he's in. That's not too bad.
It's alright.
A good start, guys. I know where it's going to work, right on knuckles and on this side bit, but you deal with that when it comes. You start in a nice spot.
I'm aware that I'm probably fucking up this camera angle here, but I think the tattoo is more important, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We've got 2 cameras set up. We should be right.
Yeah.
So, what do you reckon you've learned from the first couple of years of tattooing then?
Well, like I just said about the muscle memory, that's definitely like a big part of it. There's something that I've tried to explain to people. Just a bit of, I guess, background on that. I work 1 day a week at a studio in Manchester as well, and they have apprentices there. So obviously I've not been tattooing long enough to be teaching people, but I try to, give them some wisdom. And there's just some that there's some bits that you can't teach, and you literally just have to learn by doing. So in terms and it changes every time you get a new machine. This changes, but when you're hitting the kind of right depth in the skin,
right.
My machine feeds back differently. Like I can almost, it's not slowing down, but it almost feels like your machine voltage is slowing down a bit. And there's no, I can explain that to people, but the only way you can learn that is by doing it over and over and over and over again until it just becomes like.
Until you get used to that. It's like any new bit of kit, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And like I say, then changing machine, you're almost like starting again, you know what I mean? Like you still have that same thing, but that feeling might be slightly different. It might not vibrate as much or might vibrate more, do you know what I mean?
So is this gun that you usually use then?
I've had this one for a while now, probably about a year. It's not the one I started with. It's a Bishop. This is the liner. So it's good for nice chunky stuff like this.
These lines are 8 thick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Good for hand actually.
Yeah. Nice and bold. I've always preferred to do bold stuff.
Bold is gold, isn't it? It's that saying.
Bold will hold as well.
Yeah,
that's I don't. When it comes to styles and stuff, I try not to pin myself down too much with a style. My stuff's definitely traditionally inspired.
Yeah.
I would say more American traditional as well, inspired. But I definitely don't consider myself an American traditional artist at all, or even just a traditional artist. I like to try and do a little bit of everything if I can.
Yeah. Surely that keeps it varied for you as well. Then,
well, it does. Yeah, it does. It's just a case of not. I know the second if I was to turn around and say I'm a traditional tattoo artist, then people will start picking apart my work and be like, well, that's not traditional. That's not traditional. This is and there's loads of rules in traditional tattooing, which a lot of them make sense. But I think tattooing's changed a lot, especially in the past 5 or so years.
You've got a cross of different cultures within it as well, sure.
Exactly, yeah. Well, there's a lot. It's become a lot more accessible, which a lot of people hate, especially all the old school guys.
They're losing money.
Yeah, well, they're losing money, but I think I understand the tradition and they respect the tradition and all that, and I respect the tradition. I always have, I've been getting tattooed for 20 years now. You know what I mean? Which that in itself is pretty mental. You know what I mean?
You're covered as well. So
yeah, I mean I've got loads of space left, but
You covered more than most.
Yeah, I've definitely like fucking paid my dues. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
This is it when I was saying before, like, I don't mind this, but like, if you were going on chest, I'd be doing numbing cream because
yeah, oh yeah.
I've paid my dues with this. But
That's exactly it.
I know
Like,
Anne's not too bad.
yeah,
So yeah, let's ride it out.
and you know, I use numbing like I use numbing cream. I'm happy for my clients to use numbing cream, but I do say to people, um, you know, if it's your first one, we're probably going to lose that angle.
Yeah,
It's fine. Just because this light's more important than that.
Yep.
You know, I say to people, you know, if it's your first tattoo, you should probably feel it. It's good to know, yeah, just to know what to expect and to know whether you can handle it and stuff, I guess. But for me and my style of tattooing, like numbing cream doesn't affect the technique. I know some artists that do a lot of kind of like, you know, if it's like portraits or like the fine line stuff or like realism, hyper realism.
Like yeah.
So it's a different technique. You're going to be doing a lot more shading, which is like, you know, whipping your machine out like that. And what I've heard some people say is it can make your skin feel more rubbery with numbing cream, so you're not getting that same whip.
Same like effect.
Yeah, it's not whipping this clean. So like, yeah, if it's affecting your work, like you've got every right to say
you can't have that.
Yeah, don't use it. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, but I think these people that when it comes from you know, there's some people that come from a point of view of like, oh, tattoos are supposed to work. You're supposed to feel the pain and all that.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Sounds like me dad, that.
Yeah, I disagree with that personally.
Again, it depends what generation you're from as well, I guess.
Well, I think if tattoos were supposed to work, numbing cream wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? Like it's the same way, you know, the technology's changed and tattooing itself has changed. So has everything else that surrounds it. You know what I mean?
Even when you compare to 20 years ago, a lot in general, just everything, it's completely different now, isn't it? Especially with like all this AI coming in and stuff.
Exactly.
I feel like I could go off on a tangent on that.
Yeah. Do you use any AI for your stuff?
Sometimes I'll put like the video in and see what clips it comes out with, you know, to make reels and stuff. But usually it's pretty shit, so I don't use it.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's still got a long way to go.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a clue what I'm saying half the time.
Yeah, with the accent.
Yeah, like it always thinks Dawat is Dawat.
Yeah.
Another tattoo studio.
Another tattoo, yeah. Being tattooed there myself.
Right, I'm trying to think back to my questions now. You got any like pop-ups or anything planned this year? Like what's on the agenda?
Nothing like planned and booked in. I've got ideas, stuff I want to do. I want to do a bit of a tattoo tour, like around Europe.
Yeah.
Just on my own, just take my car, maybe take my dogs, and just I've got a friend that works at a studio in Amsterdam. I just had some clients last week, and they've got a studio in Belgium.
Nice.
I've got friends in Germany. I've got a friend, Valentina, that's just opened her own studio in Italy. I've got, you know, studios in London and stuff that I can tattoo at.
Obviously, Barca.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of make my way down there. Yeah. You know, just, you know, start in London probably, get the tunnel over.
Like you're on tour, literally. That sounds fun.
But just do it slow, you know, do it in the summer. Probably just stay at campsites and stuff. Yeah. So we with dogs and that. And
to be fair, a lot of them are lovely. Like I went to some in Germany, you know, like in between festivals and stuff. And some of them are like so scenic.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If the weather's nice, I think it'd be. And it's you know, I've got an electric car, so I could be charging overnight while I'm sleeping and stuff. If I'm at a campsite,
if you've got one.
Yeah, well, you just charge on mains.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's slow, but it'll give me some. Or even if it's just keeping the power on while I'm sleeping, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of. It's been on my mind ever since I started tattooing, to be honest.
It's just like one of the like natural progressions.
Yeah, well, just more fun. You know what I mean? It's just like you know, I've met people around, and I just think it'd be a nice trip. It's the beauty of working a job like this. Is, you know, I work for myself, so I can take that time and do that traveling and
go at your own pace, kind
of. Yeah. So yeah, you know, it is something I've been talking about for a while. So whether it actually ever happens or not, well,
you've said it now, and it's going to be said on internet, so you've got to pull your finger out.
True. And then I'm also thinking Australia at the end of the year because I've got dual citizenship. I've got Australian passport. So I was out there last year in April.
Yeah.
I've got some friends. I've got a studio out there. Vintique Parlour in Mordialloc, just outside of Melbourne. Shout out to those guys. Yeah. Last year was amazing. That's like a super traditional.
Yeah, where did you go? You did a few guest spots and stuff.
Yeah, so I did Brazil. My friends at 9 Ink, which is a really nice studio in Sao Paulo. I almost got confusing. So I got another friend with a studio called 60 Ink in London. So yeah, Sao Paulo was great. Again, I timed that with my brother had some gigs out in Brazil. So we timed that to kind of coincide. And then, yeah, I did Australia. And that was it for last year. I did a couple.
I suppose it were your first
Yeah.
year full time, shall I say? Yeah. So,
Well, I think because I did those quite close. I think Brazil was February, and then Australia was April. So I think it was a bit too much too soon.
Like too early in.
Yeah, just like a lot of traveling, and I mean it was fun. Don't get me wrong.
That's why you're used to traveling anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I am, but I don't know.
Speaking of your bro, how is he?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. His wife's she's pregnant, so they're about to have kids.
Yeah, I've seen the doing like festival season.
Yeah, they've just been in Germany. Yeah,
we're Rocking Park. Good festival. I went to that a few years ago.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah,
that's what I played then as well, but they weren't headlining.
I've been to that one a few times, and I've only just learned that. I can't remember which one it is, but
that's
one of them.
Nuremberg.
Yeah, Nuremberg. I had no idea. I was talking to Paul about it, and I was just like, "Oh, I've been to Nuremberg then. I didn't even know." You know what I mean? Because he's a big car guy.
Yeah, it's the Ring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although that one's Rocking Park, so I don't know why someone's Rock and Ring, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why the one that's at the car racetrack's not the Ring. But anyway, that's a tangent I go off on. But yeah, it sounds like still busy.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think they're about to have a little bit of time off.
Yeah, deserve, especially if he's having younger.
That's it. I think it's just good timing for them.
He's been consistent for years, so like they do a break, surely.
Yeah, I mean, whether they'll ever get a full break remains to be seen. But
you look at Arctic Monkeys, though, I swear they have years between their albums. And
it's different. It's a different genre. It's a different world.
Different fan base.
Yeah.
Always wanting more.
Yeah. They can get away with just doing a couple of big shows, and that's enough.
Oh, a stingy bit.
I was going to say, how does that feel?
That's nice.
Down on the knuckle there.
We'll get into it now. Ooh, yeah. What's some of your favourite tats you've done, then? Have you got any standouts?
Good question. I mean, I've always just said the last one I did. I've done some recently, which felt real good and strong. I mean, I'm always very happy with my tattoos. But what have I done? I've got one of my regulars, a girl called Connie. I did like a dream catcher on her, and it's got one of my brothers, the sempiternal flower light.
I can't see if it's on there. That one up top. That's nice. That.
Cutting it. A little picture of it.
It's like quite a thin line, that one, compared to this, anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's I wouldn't call it a fine line, but it's definitely not as bold as this. This is out there. This is pretty bold. So
yeah, definitely not going to miss this one.
Yeah, but I always prefer to go bold. I just think and I've already said that, but I just think it looks sick. It's the way I've always drawn. It's like we were talking before as well. Like I came from doing stick and poke, hand poke tattoos originally. That's kind of how I got into tattooing and how I learned. And yeah, it was my designs were a lot more simple, I guess, back then. But I think I've essentially kind of kept the same style and kept, I used to go real bold with the stick and poke stuff, and I wanted to carry, I didn't want to lose that. I wanted to carry that across. And,
just translate it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Well, it's just using the machines just opened me up for more techniques now. Do you know what I
And
mean?
also the fact it speeds up the process.
Exactly.
For a lot of
Yeah,
things.
you can get you can get more detailing and stuff, and yeah, it's. I still do a hand poke every now and again if someone asks, but I kind of never looked back. Do you know what I mean? I kind of started with machine and just.
I think it's quite novel when you do one now again.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. I still enjoy it. It is nice. There's something. I mean, I was just saying, I've just done a month in Thailand, and I had one there myself, which was like the traditional bamboo. It's kind of like it's like a snooker cue. So there's tabori, which is tapping, where they tap it, which looks really painful. But this is more like they'd hold a snooker cue.
Yeah, just like constantly
And
cueing.
yeah, oh, honestly,
Like Max and Blue having a pop.
Yeah, yeah, they're probably quite good at that. It's like I said to you before. It's the only tattoo I've had where the very first jab, I was like, I'm over this. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, oh fucking hell! I believe now it's my most painful tattoo I've had.
Yeah.
It was right here on my ribs.
Yeah, placement as well. You just went for a savage spot.
Yeah, I was originally going to get it on my arm, but there just wasn't enough space, and I just don't think I really.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I just didn't really think about the repercussions of getting it on my ribs.
No numbing cream for that one then.
No numbing cream. Well, I didn't want to.
I guess had you had a tattoo in that technique before?
No.
So you wanted to feel it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wanted to know what it felt like, and so the tattoo I got is it's a lotus flower, which represents kind of like spiritual growth.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like the paint is quite fitting.
Yeah.
In terms of like growing and.
It's part of literally a meaning within the tattoo as
exactly.
well.
Yeah. I think it was very fitting, and yeah, I just wanted to experience it. How it was intended to be experienced. Which I very much did.
Thank you very much. Like this sucked.
Yeah, it fucking sucked. But again, it's part of the process.
And it's an experience. You've lived that now.
Exactly.
You can explain it to people.
It's nice to say that I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Like I say, I've still not done it. So at some point, I'll try it. But we're not there yet. Oh, you want this little bit down here, don't you?
Yeah.
When you move it and you're like, oh yeah, I've moved it around now. That's fucking.
How's it feeling? Is it sore?
Yeah, a little bit, but could be worse.
Yeah. I mean, you don't come for a tattoo expecting it not to hurt, do you?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, tickle me hand. What kind of tunes you been listening to recently then?
Oh, all sorts. I've always had quite a eclectic taste. Something came on there. You had a little video. I think it was just on your Instagram or something. But I'm having a Streets revival. Listening to a lot of Streets.
Oh yeah, nice.
Classics.
Those first two.
Yeah, first two.
Well, no, what is it? What is the first one now?
Can't.
Original Pirate
Material. Yeah, Original Pirate
and then Grand Don't Come for Free. They're two of my faves still.
Yeah, incredible albums. I'll come around this way a little bit.
Alright, so I've got a very sweaty hand on this fucking tissue. You got any new bands that you're going to shout out interesting that's coming through that I might not have noticed or you know about?
I've heard this band. I started following on Instagram a while ago called Holy Water.
I think I've seen them pop up.
Yeah, I think they're doing a lot of like advertising and stuff on social media. I think they're supporting architects on a tour.
Cool name.
But yeah, cool name, cool band. Like they've got like something about them going. I listened to the album's great. It's from what I heard online. I kind of wanted it to be more because it's not like super heavy, but it's quite. I don't even know. Maybe like a little bit of like a Deftonesy vibe,
right? Yeah.
Which is really cool. But like the stuff I'd heard online was a bit softer, and I was really vibing the kind of softer stuff. But yeah, they're a cool band. I don't know them personally or anything, but there's a band called Mouth Culture as well. They've popped off.
They say they played that Sleep show, didn't they?
Yes, yeah.
You been see anyone cool recently? I know you could do loads of gigs, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I haven't actually. The last gig I went to, what was the last gig I went to? Can't even remember. Probably been a minute. I had tickets to go see Central C.
As if that's a random
one. But it was when I was in Thailand, so I ended up missing it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn you up here like this again. Yeah, I ended up missing that, which I was gutted about. There's a bunch of hip hop gigs coming up, which
Yeah, I've seen a few on.
like Benny the Butcher and West Side Gun and stuff like that.
I was
Which
filming.
yeah,
I've seen
Wesley
one like,
Ford,
yeah,
yeah.
it's there.
Um,
Yeah, there's some good
which-
shit like getting lined up.
Yeah, so I'm
Not
looking
too
for.
long till tramlines now.
Yeah,
Are
exactly.
you going
Pulp.
this year?
Yeah, I'll go.
I say you went. Did you go last year?
Yeah, I was there last year. Yeah.
I just can't remember bumping into.
I
it,
missed
but
the I
were a
missed
bit
the days
all-
of it being more of a city fest though.
When it went down,
Yeah.
same. Yeah, Dev Green vibes.
Yeah, I'm
But
not.
there's nowhere that big, is there, to put on something of that scale?
No,
I mean, you can't get Pulp on Dev.
no.
I
I
remember
mean, they used
seeing
to do
like maybe
Ponderosa,
Milburn
didn't
and
they? Yeah.
Reverend on there back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it
innit?
was,
Like Bowery, Rodigan, shit like that back
Oh
in the
mate,
day.
yeah. DQ and the Harley were always popping off. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Honestly, I think it might be first tramlines. I didn't realise. I saw it like, I found out the old programme. XX played at Harley on tramlines, and it's like, that's
yeah,
mental.
I think I went to that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to say I was at that. Yeah.
See, that's what I missed. I'm a bit gutted.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they're always smashing it. See what we get this year. Should be good for. I mean, Pulp.
Yeah, Pulp's huge, isn't it? I mean, when was the last time they even did shows?
Well, they've only just released that new album, haven't they? Which
yeah.
I'll add. It's banging. Like, check that out if you've not.
I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, it only came out last Friday. I've had it on
Yeah.
2 or 3 times already, and it's like every time I'm like noticing things like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Like it's a grower. And then there's that I've been seeing this other tune, that Tom Rowley guy, who's done bits. He's been like session for Monkeys and
Right.
played in Milburn and stuff. And he's gone
Alright.
solo and released it. Like
Oh,
new
I
track,
heard
and
it,
it's
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, I like
Nice.
it. I'm banging it out. So there's some promo for there. Yeah.
Struggling with my needle here.
You can't get it out.
Well, it's a needle that I've actually never used before.
Yeah, sick. Good start. Look at that though. We're doing well, yeah. I think that big bold outline. Oh, fucking rags now. I'm moving it back. Oh, get some. I'm gonna say get some sugar, but it's Pepsi Max.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Oh. We should probably talk about Sheffield a bit, I guess.
Yeah,
since it's
quite
now what,
fitting,
isn't
isn't
it?
it? Yeah.
What I've been asking people recently, have you noticed out that's changed about the city?
Yeah, the city's changed loads. I'd say particularly down by there we go. Down by the moor and stuff. Do you know what I mean? All that part of the city. Like it's actually starting. I mean, I've always loved Sheffield. It's always been a cool city to me. But I forgot what the name of the shops are called. But just above the moor, there's like that new retail kind of area.
Where it's like, is it weekday?
Yeah, well, weekdays shut down.
I think they both are.
Are they? Yeah.
Well, they're both owned by same people who do H&M, I think.
Yeah, well, I think H&M bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I walked past that yesterday.
Again, what's going to take that space? That's quite new. It's the new block, and things are already leaving, especially when it's big corporate chains as well.
Yeah, exactly. But no, there's some cool little like streetwear shops there now, which like Sheffield's never had. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I've been saying for years. I think we might have spoke about it on the last podcast, but like,
I didn't listen back, so I can't remember what we were on about.
Yeah, I probably should have listened back, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I do that for some, but I was just like, we'll repeat the sentence. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, it was a while ago, so if we repeat, we repeat.
Yeah, I've definitely forgot.
But no, just it felt like retail's been dying for ages. Do you know what I mean? Like high street retail.
Well, yes, everyone's just on Shein and
exactly,
shit
yeah,
like that, aren't they?
Online stuff, and which is fine, but like it's going to be depressing, isn't it? If all that completely disappears.
What is going to be in town? What would you go to town for?
Exactly.
If it is all like drinking and eating, then that's cool. But when it's also very expensive for that, So I was chatting to some lads recently who went to Wembley, for United when they went. They were saying that drink prices down there were like near enough same as up here now. It's like, when did Sheffield get London prices then?
That's mental.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? I wouldn't have expected that.
So yeah. It's shit. Yeah, it's like at least £6 a pint most places now, innit?
God, yeah, it's a lot, innit? I mean, I don't drink beer myself, but
I drink. What's your tipple? In fact, you're tequila, aren't you?
Yeah, I love a tequila, me. Oh, I've been drinking wine. I've gotten into my red wines.
Oh, yeah. See, like what you say, you're 35 now.
Yeah.
Is that the age you get into wine?
I guess so. I mean,
I'm not there
I've
yet.
just got the gluten intolerance as well, and so that's why I don't.
Wine drunk's completely different, though.
Yeah,
Isn't it? Like, I'm always like, I feel like wine drunk's almost like, your legs go, like it's got no balance.
Yeah, it's more of a like body drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, like than a head drunk.
Yeah, I feel like one of them, like
Don't
a toddler just starting to walk.
I don't know even how to explain this, but it's like it both feels less messy and messier.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's easier to keep yourself together, but then in your body you're like,
just
so I guess it's just easier to get messy on it. You know what I mean?
Well, especially if you're going out, you've not had no food at all.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a dangerous start already. I should learn from this lesson, but I never do.
No.
All part of fun, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess. And it's nowhere near as bad either. Yeah. You're delicate touch, you tell them you're alright.
That's it. I have been told that I'm quite light-handed.
Yeah.
Something I don't really like to say to people until we get stuck in. Because I feel like it can almost have the opposite effect of like, then people are expecting it not to hurt.
And then they're like, oh, that
and
does
then it hurts. Yeah, so I like, it's the same thing with, I've learned not to say we're almost done.
Yeah, because you don't know if you are.
Yeah, because I could finish and I'm like, oh, actually, I've just got to do this or I've got to do that. You know what I mean? And
I've had that way. They just tweak you for half an hour, and you're like, I thought we were nearly done.
Exactly. So I just don't say it anymore. Yeah. It's just false hope. Do you know what I mean? It's there's no need for it.
What do you reckon the longest session you've done so far is?
Longest session. Longest single session, probably about 4 hours. Nothing.
What were it, like a back or?
I can't even think what that would be. I did one in Brazil, which was a big, the sempiternal flower alive.
Yeah.
Big on someone's shin, and that was quite early on in my career.
With that, it's all circles.
Yeah,
that's great. You got to concentrate.
It fucks with your eyes doing that one.
Yeah.
And I remember when I did that, I had a bunch of my friends that are tattoo artists like reach out to me and were like, "Have you done that?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "I wouldn't even do that." You know what I mean?
Wow,
And I was like, "Fucking hell!" Like, I'd only been tattooing a couple of months. You know what I mean?
It just shows you fucking going for it.
Well, that's it. It's like I said before, get stuck in. No.
Go on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think, if I'd have put it off early on, I probably still would be putting it off. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to have to do it at some point. I'm going to have to learn these things and like...
Especially with designs.
Yeah.
Especially because obviously you get people coming through for drop day and then they're like, well, you're here, so I've got to get a tattoo off Ollie's brother as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So I remember when I did used to work in warehouse still, and you'd have people, ring at doorbell like from all over the world just come to check out drop day and get a tattoo.
That's it. I'm really lucky in that sense. Even just being in this building definitely brings in custom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the people do come here as like a trip.
Yeah, it's like for a lot of people. If you're a fan of the band and stuff, for a lot of people, it's like
pilgrimage.
Yeah, exactly what I was just gonna say. Yeah, it's like people go out the way just to come here and see it. I mean, there's not really much else to do. I mean, obviously there's stuff to do in Sheffield, but like in terms of like, all my clients come. They come to Sheffield to come. They come to Drop Dead. They come to get a tattoo. They go to church, and then they're like,
food.
What else should I do while I'm here? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I always recommend botanical gardens.
Yeah.
That's a nice, especially if the weather's nice. Or even Western Park's a nice park as well.
Yeah, and just museums good there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like nice little day trip. So I always recommend if there's all going on at like Millennium Galleries, stuff like that, because they have nice little exhibitions on there and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else do you recommend? Last weekend I had some clients and it was Peddler's Market.
Yeah, that's always a shout.
Yeah, I told them to check that out. But I don't know, it's just not a touristy city, is it? Do you know what I mean?
It's like a lot of things are very niche, aren't they?
Yeah. Exactly.
And even like one thing, like obviously we're a very football centric city, but even then there's not enough stuff for that, I don't think. Or there could be more. It's like how that football museum's in Manchester and stuff.
Yeah,
like that could be already. Although, have you been Yardball yet?
I haven't. I've been meaning to go there.
Yeah,
it's
very
cool.
good fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
It looks cool, that place.
How's your knee?
It's better. Still not 100%, but I reckon for something like that, it'd be all right.
Yeah, well,
I've been meaning to get back into
it's just kind of
like
little kicking.
Actually, you'll be stoked. I got new Sheffield Wednesday t-shirt recently.
Get in, lad. Yes, I'm here for it.
The old school black and gold away kit.
Yeah.
I've got Altar on the back.
Sick. Yeah, what number?
Back, number 7.
Yeah,
That's
sick.
just my lucky number.
Yeah, no, that's very good.
What I went for.
Yeah, I remember when we used to do 5-a-side. They were funny days, weren't they?
I know, yeah. Me and Paul
too feisty.
Yeah, me and
Sorry,
Paul
that was
were
me.
talking about getting back into it. He's been playing with some of the old skaters and punk guys, but I think with my knee, I'm just a bit worried
Yeah.
about playing with people I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
We were playing that time I did my ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
It's never been safe since either.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you ever get it checked out?
Well, I went. They were like, "Yeah, you sprained it or
Yeah.
whatever," and then that was it. Never went back. Because it was like, "Well, it'll heal," and then it did. Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
When
Well,
I sit
that's it.
cross-legged, though, when you've been pressure on it, I notice, and it feels very fucking weird.
Yeah. Need to strengthen it. That's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah,
When I was in Thailand, I was doing a little bit of I was working out, but I was doing like some Muay Thai and stuff.
Yeah.
And at first, I didn't want to do it at first because I was scared that it was going to mess my knee up.
It's all beneficial and
But yeah,
building it up.
It really did help. I was just sparring. I wasn't.
You weren't doing no kickboxing, just kicking trees or not like that.
No, I was in the sparring. I was doing kicking and stuff, but not just at my own pace.
Yeah.
So that was. It really felt like it helped. Do you know what I mean? It felt like it helped the.
Yes. What did you do? I can't remember how you did it though.
Skating.
Yeah.
Around the
Like his house, weren't
Yeah.
Did you just go off right back?
Yeah, I tried to kickflip down the 5 set and tore my ACL.
That's like a proper footballer injury,
Yeah,
that
it
as
is,
well.
yeah.
It's like modern day. Yeah, you hear about that in fucking BBC
Yep.
Sport.
Did I do that before or after? Did I do it after the podcast then? Because it would have been around that time. I did it just as I opened the studio. So I'm guessing I probably did it after.
After, I guess.
Probably
I
just
don't
after we
remember
did the
We
first
didn't talk
one.
about it then. I
Yeah.
feel like we might have just ended up being like, how's your knee?
Yeah.
Yes, that does seem like ages ago. I feel like I know me and you both got injured. I feel like I fucked Jamie's knee up as well, didn't I?
Yeah,
And
Jamie
then,
had
yeah, that was an accident though. Both just went football.
Yeah. What happened?
50-50, wasn't it? Yeah.
Happens.
We're all 5-a-side. I don't wish to get too carried away though.
Yeah.
Glad we don't play no more. Saves people's
Yeah.
well-being.
I mean, I would like to get back into
I'll
it.
say
but-
just we'll do a live trip to yard ball or something. That's fun.
Yeah, a bit more casual, isn't it? A bit
Yeah,
more,
it's less competitive. Well, no, it can be competitive still, but it's just less physical.
Yeah.
Not
I
actually
can,
going
like
in
I
at
said,
each
I
other.
can go at my own pace. There'll be no tackling out.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's your shout out, yard ball. Or you got anyone you want to shout out while we're in this? I guess any independents at all.
Sure. I mean, always shout out Drop Dead Church.
Yeah.
Rise, I mean, not that they need shout outs. They're doing pretty well on their own. But if you're in the area and want to check this stuff out, that's where my studio is located, in this building with those guys, which is nice. It's factory floor across the road. My friend Jordan, I actually just tattooed Jordan's dad the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, that was fun.
What did you get?
So he got like a sword with a quote on it, and it says "Live by the sword, die by the sword."
Yeah, that's cool. That's a quote from. Is it Wyatt or something?
I'm not sure. I know so Jordan's stepmom's got the same quote.
Nice.
So he wanted to kind of like match him, but in a different style.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because he's really into his karate, Jordan's dad. So I'm not sure if it's something to do with karate.
Yeah, that seems like some martial arts.
Yeah. I'll turn you again like
Yeah.
this just for this bit. Yeah.
You tried out good food wise recently?
Food
Feel like
wise.
obviously we usually do some food shout outs.
Yeah. I'm guessing I probably wasn't eating meat last time we spoke.
Oh yeah, I mean, did we talk about veganism before?
Probably would have been. I would have shouted out some veggie vegan spots.
Yeah.
And then I went to Brazil and got coerced into going to a Brazilian, one of the all you can eat
The
steakhouses. Yeah. And the main thing was I realised that what I was eating before wasn't good for my work. I wasn't feeling great in terms of like my actual overall fitness.
Like fatigue and stuff.
Yeah, I was just eating a lot of processed fake meat stuff.
A lot of it is chemicals and stuff like that, innit? You don't
I think the main thing was just a lack of protein. You know what I mean?
Real protein.
Yeah.
Well, you get it from some stuff, like you get your fish and whatnot, but I guess if you're full vegan.
I was really bad with like supplements and stuff. you know, my brother does like protein shakes and all that shit, and I think that's really important if you're gonna try and live that lifestyle.
You need to get them nutrients somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But so what I was gonna say is, obviously, you know, Podders.
Yeah, shout out Pod.
He's got his spot. I think I'm going there tonight actually. With some
Butcher and
friends.
Catch.
Butcher and Catch over in the Cutlery Works.
Yeah, it's a good
It's
spot.
banging in there.
I think he's meeting me later, so you won't see him.
What's that?
You're meeting me later, so you won't
Oh,
see
is he
him.
not working?
Nah.
Oh, that changes things. 'Cause
Oh, he might change your mind.
he hooks us up.
Yeah, but it's one of them, so you're eating a bit more meat these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, what would you say to people who are vegan and it's like, yeah, you can, but just get your nutrients properly?
Yeah, that's it. You know, again, I feel like since eating meat, I'm kind of torn now between mental health and physical health. So like physically, I feel a lot better. Obviously, for what I do and my job, I need to feel good. I need to come in feeling like strong and
Yeah.
not shaky and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But then mental health wise, you know, I didn't eat meat because I didn't like the thought of killing animals.
Yeah.
So then that bothers me now. Do you know what I mean? I have that on my mind. So it's kind of like, it is a bit of a, but saying that, like I still eat a lot of vegetarian food. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just.
It's not like every day, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if I'm cooking at home, it's usually vegetarian. I cook a lot of tofu and stuff.
It's cheaper
So
anyway, isn't it?
it's cheaper, and I just prefer, you know, I just don't really like handling meat too much. You know what I mean? Which is
Fair.
very hypocritical of me, I guess. And
Well, no, if anything, it's like, yeah, you still.
I'm still making an effort. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To not just be. Just gonna turn it again, hold it like that. You know, that's the thing. It's. I'm not just like a strict meat eater. I eat a bit of everything now, and I still love. You know, I still eat at church, which is all vegan. I still, you know, I love to go and try veggie vegan spots and stuff. It's not like.
You try that? What's that one? That Wowin. Chinese.
Yeah,
vegan.
it's good that. Yeah, but I prefer. I think I feel like I shouted this out last time. Noodle Inn Centro, just off Division Street.
Yeah, I know which one you mean.
And they've got a full vegan menu, and I think their vegan meat stuff is so much
I've
better.
not tried that one.
Oh, I would recommend that one if you want some. You got veggie friends or vegan friends, and you want to take them inside. I mean, it's proper traditional little Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, I've been in before.
Fancy, yeah.
So it's got that little side alleyway next to it as well, hasn't it? Yeah, I think my mate used to live upstairs, so I remember like me going through that way.
Is it the same one?
Yeah, it's the one downside road next to Nando's, isn't it? Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was an alleyway down there. But...
Yeah, or maybe there's a red door that's shut usually, but there is an alleyway
Right,
behind
yeah.
that.
But yeah, it's just proper stereotypical Chinese restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, but it's nice, good food. They do a bit of everything. You know, I've not been there, had meat there, but I know they've got both vegan and non-vegan menus as well. So it's probably a good spot to go if you want a bit of everything. You know what I mean?
Caters for all.
Yeah.
So you had any good takeaways?
I've been trying my best not to do takeaways recently.
Nice. Good on you.
Yeah, so like I say, I went to Thailand and had a bit of a health kick, trying to exercise more and just kind of reserving the. I want to go out more. Do you know what I mean? I want to go out and socialize and do stuff more. So rather than getting, if I'm at home, I'll just cook and I'll save that money and go out for a meal.
Yeah.
Like tonight, we're supposed to be going out for a meal with some mates and stuff. And yeah, I just feel like I can justify spending the money a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
It's getting spending now to go out anyway.
Yeah, well, it's just takeaways and stuff as well. I think that was my problem before Thailand. I was just, I was working a lot. I think I was overworking. I think I burnt myself out a little bit.
Since you're not looking after what you eat and then you're just ordering shit.
Well, it was, I'd do a long day in the studio and I'd be like, right. It wasn't even so much the cooking, it was more the thought of cleaning after. Yeah. I was like, if I cook something now, then I've got to spend an hour cleaning and blah, blah, blah. And, cooking for one as well. So I would just get takeaways, you know what I mean? And yeah, it just spiraled. Just realised how bad that was. Not healthy, you know what I mean?
I can't say I do it quite a lot still.
Yeah,
it's good. I just can't be able to cook it. I mean, I can't be able to cleaning as well.
Yeah,
cleaning up after other people before you cook as well. It's a complete demotivator.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's it. At least I'm on my own at my place. So
yeah, you don't have to deal with that
shit. But I remember what it was like. I do remember that life. How many people do you live with?
There's another 4.
Yeah.
So see them every now and again, but I don't Like I say, I don't cook all that much. Something I will get onto, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's just
it
can't be
comes
arsed
from
yet. Yeah, I know how to cook. That's the thing. It's not like I can't cook. I do know,
Yeah.
but it's just I'm lazy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always asking people what the favourite takeaways are, so I can
Well, what's your
scope something
favourite
new.
takeaway?
Oh, mine changes.
Yeah.
Although I've been rinsing this place called G's Chicken,
Yeah.
just off. It's like next door, but one to Vodka Revs
Yeah.
on West One, and it's
Yeah.
great good in
Is
there.
it?
It's very nice chicken and fries and whatnot.
I haven't heard that. Place.
Love Charlie's, takeaway kebabs on Infirmary Road still.
Right. Yeah.
Top boss
I've never
man.
been there.
I mean, I order from all over. I'm always trying these new. You know what people have mentioned. I'm always
Yeah, I
trying
bet.
to try
Yeah,
them
it's
out.
kind of your job, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't know why it's my job. I've made it my job somehow.
Yeah.
So I love a Napoli Centro. If you're getting a nice pizza, that's
Yeah.
where you go.
Nice.
Although where did I try recently? I think it's called Paisani, and that were good as well.
I've heard of that place.
Yeah.
Whereabouts is that?
I feel like I want to say Brew Mill,
Right.
but I'm not sure. So I ordered, so just get it dropped off, nice and easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's some good shouts recently. I think I tried what else new, but can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a bit like out of touch with Sheffield. Like I said, I've been going down like the moor a little bit.
Yeah.
I got my hair cut yesterday at Kelham Barbers,
Nice.
which is not in Kelham.
Yeah,
Well, there is one
Leah's
still
Yard,
in Kelham.
innit?
Yeah, Leah's Yard. Yeah, which is a nice little area.
Yeah, I love Dan who has
All that
gravel
part
pit.
of town now, it's really like come on. You know what I mean? It feels. I went to the Botanist the other day.
Oh,
you know that one
yeah.
on the corner? That's really nice to sit out.
Yeah.
It don't feel like you're in Sheffield. It's like it's got like a little rooftop kind of bar.
Yeah, it's sick that.
It's a nice vibe there.
Wait,
too,
that one
yeah.
in Cambridge Street?
Is it Cambridge Street? Top up Moor, right across from Debenhams. It used to be in Leopold Square.
I know where you mean, yeah, on that square bit there. Yeah, I've not checked that out yet.
Yeah, it's nice.
I went to that, so like that Cambridge Street, they've got a rooftop terrace thing there.
Right, yeah.
I think it was when Sea Dog and me's had the wedding, so the reception were up there, and that was a really nice spot.
Yeah, it's nice in there as well.
Yeah, some good food spots. Shout out Unit every time.
Unit, yeah. Do you know the guys that run that?
No, but I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, need to make that
I always
connection.
assumed they had some kind of link to like the Sheffield music scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you got Kid Acne doing something like.
Was it Kid Acne doing it?
Well, he did like some of the branding and stuff.
Did he? Yeah. I'm gonna say I didn't know if they just like
That's
style.
right.
Yeah.
He said it were him. Yeah,
Cool,
don't worry.
yeah. Cool.
He's not been ripped off.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Oh yeah, some of these lines are bastards.
Yeah, does that feel nice?
Yeah, spicy meditation, as you put it.
Spicy meditation,
It's when you can feel gun rattling as well, though, isn't it?
yeah. Down on the knuckle. Anywhere with this bone, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I've always found it
Spicy.
worse when it's like somewhere very meaty.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Do you
feel like,
think? Yeah.
it's like nerves.
Well, it's just different, isn't it? I think meaty. Well, I find anywhere where if you're ticklish, if you tick
In
ribs,
them bits,
anywhere, yeah,
yeah.
that sucks. But then when it's on a bone, it's not the pain, it's the rattling. It's
like
uncomfortable.
you're drilling your bone,
yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
uncomfortable. Yeah, that's.
Which is what elbows. Ooh,
Yeah.
I bet you had knees done. I bet they suck.
Yeah, well, I hand poked my own knees, so they were
So you
pretty,
could
pretty
you
chill.
could gauge your own pain.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. I mean, it took 7 hours each, but
I guess you weren't in a rush.
no, yeah, I didn't do it in one sitting.
Yeah, I was
It was
gonna
like
say.
two 3.5 hour sessions.
You let it heal a bit in between and then go back to it, or just
Yeah, I think one of them I kind of just smashed out in 2 days, but
it's like, I want it finished.
yeah, if you get in there quick enough, it's not too bad. But once it starts to I always found with a stick and poke anyway, it never really scabbed too much. But like with machine tattoos, if it starts to scab, I wouldn't want to tattoo over that. I just think that would be uncomfortable for the client.
Oh
you
yeah,
know what I mean?
that'd be horrible thinking about it. Oh, that's horrible. Feeling it.
Yeah, that's right. And
You're in stingy bits now.
Yeah.
I love how you left these till last.
Yeah.
Or near end. I don't know. What you doing some shading?
Yeah, there'll be some shading.
Yeah. That's red hot. Like we're
Spicy
saying,
meditation.
hot needle, that one.
Yeah, what was it? Wet fire.
Yeah, wet fire.
So someone else described it as.
I love that. That's
Wet
bang
fire.
on that there.
Yeah.
wet fire.
Wet fire. It's a
Oh,
good.
no,
It's a
you
good.
just, like, at least you use a nice amount of moisture when you gear white.
Yeah, I tried to. Yeah,
Sorry,
I try not to
sorry,
go
but
too
tattoo, you used to be. I felt like
dry
sandpaper
wiping.
sometimes. Yeah.
It is necessary though. I do say that to people. Like, you don't want to get. I like to use the Vaseline and stuff, but if it's too wet, you essentially like adding water can like lighten up the black.
Is it like diluting it?
Yeah, so it's like grey wash. You use grey wash to shade. So you put a
Yeah.
little bit of water in, and it heals lighter.
Yeah.
But you, but you don't want your lines healing lighter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as much as it sucks, it is unfortunately quite necessary.
Yeah.
But speaking about spicy meditation, that's something I've been getting into meditation recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, since coming back from Thailand, I did it out there quite a bit, meditating and just mindfulness and stuff. And
Just say I got told to do mindfulness
Yeah,
by my therapist ages ago, but I've not got patience for it.
yeah, it's great. It's like it all makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy called Alan Watts.
That name does ring a bell, actually.
You'll have heard him. You'll have heard his voice. He's on loads of like Instagram videos. Just like voiceovers, kind of like talking over inspirational videos and
But he's
stuff.
got a very nice, calm voice.
A very nice, calm voice, but it's just like, it's essentially like Buddhism and stuff. But I don't even think he considers himself a Buddhist or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with Buddhism. It's not a religion. It's a philosophy. So you can follow the philosophy and not be a Buddhist. Do you know what I mean? Not practice.
I've never heard of a extremist Buddhist.
No, exactly. I don't think they exist. Well, I'm sure they probably do. But...
Yeah, there's someone.
Yeah, is that spice?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something I've been trying to keep up with since coming back from Thailand. Because like I say, I was doing it a lot out there, and I genuinely really think it helps.
Does it just give you a calmer observation on things?
Yeah, it's just a bit like a grounding kind of technique, and just stepping outside your own head. I think, especially in like Western culture, like we've been raised to believe that we are our thoughts. Do you know what I mean?
Well, center of the universe.
Yeah, well, not even so much that, but just like that voice in your head is essentially what we are. Whereas I disagree with that now. I think we're so much more than just, that's just another part of us. The same way that like we see and we talk and we hear. It's just like another part of us as a whole. And I think because that's the most prominent, because it's just there in your head all the time, it's really easy to forget that like there's more to.
Well, have you ever heard of the chimp paradox?
What's that?
So that's like I forgot the author. He's a very good like lecturer. I think he lectures at Sheffield Uni sometimes as well. Right. But basically, it's saying that in everyone's brain, there's like it's all built up of different parts. But like the inner part of your brain is like your chimp essentially. Yeah. So that's like your most natural, like feral part of you, your most defensive. So when you overreact, that's usually what's happening. Yeah. Whereas the front part of your brain is like your human part. So you've basically got to use your human part to keep the chimp in check. Yeah. But the thing is, the chimp has faster reaction times than the human part as well. That's why people flip or see red, for example.
Well, that's it. I think that's where meditation comes in, because you learn. It's funny that you actually said that, the chimp paradox, because when I was in Thailand, one of the guys that was kind of leading some of the meditation classes and stuff, he called that voice like the monkey in your head.
That's literally what he says.
Yeah. And I just thought that was something he'd kind of made up.
Well, no, see, the guy I've kind of read it and listened to audiobooks, it's good. But he was saying like basically your chimp is like having a dog, and if your dog bites someone, it's still your responsibility, isn't it? Whereas you've got to be in charge of your chimp, even if you don't want to be. Yeah. And like that. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, being emotional in that.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's it. I found it all really fascinating, especially So that what I've kind of learned with meditation is, a lot of people see it as something you should do when you're stressed to calm yourself, but really it's not. It should be used as a preventative.
To keep calm.
Like you should do it when you're relaxed, but to keep yourself even more relaxed. Do you know what I mean? So you don't get stressed.
Well, even when you're in a good mind state, then it's going to be working either way.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
You shouldn't have to do it just to calm yourself down.
It's essentially what I take from it is it's just separating yourself from that voice. it's just learning to kind of. So when you meditate, it's impossible to not wander. Your mind not wander.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. Like,
It's all about
if your
trying to
mind
make
doesn't
it-
wander, there'd be no reason to meditate. You know what I mean? Like, the whole point is that your mind does wander, and you're trying to. It's not even so much learning to control it as it is just being aware that it wanders.
Yeah.
And then you tell yourself, like, right now, I'm doing something else right now. I'm meditating. You know, you focus on your breath, or it's like metta meditation, which is what I've been doing, which is all about like love and kindness.
Right.
So you kind of just repeat phrases to yourself.
That's something I've heard. If you talk to yourself, well, it's like anything. If you say you're ill, then your brain's going to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's, you know, I think our brains and our minds and our bodies are a lot more powerful.
They
than
listen
we give
more
them
than
credit
you think.
for. Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
If you say I'm a
It's-
piece of shit, then
you're a piece of shit. Yeah, you will just eventually become that piece of shit. Yeah, it's exactly that. And if you say to yourself, you know, I am happy, I am loved, you know, may I feel peace, may I feel love, may I, you know, all these things like, and you know, the idea is when you're saying like, may I feel love, you think back to a time where you felt love. You know what I mean? You think back to a time where, or may I feel happiness. You think back. The idea is to think back to a time when you felt happy, and then those feelings of happiness come back. Do you know what I mean?
Just
and
reminding yourself, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah, I think our minds are a lot more powerful than what we give them credit for, essentially. And yeah, I'm no expert at it. Like, I'm far from. You know, I still struggle to meditate now. But I think that's all the more reason to do it. That's what I've kind of learned.
You're still early in.
Yeah, exactly. I've not been doing it long.
And it's one of them, practice will probably make perfect, surely.
Yeah, I mean, it'll take a long time, and I don't think the idea is to get perfect at it. It is just to be consistent with it and just do it. You know what I mean? It's, you know, I've spoken to a lot of people about it since I've been back in Thailand, and people are, oh, I could never do that. I couldn't focus. It's like that's why you should do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just like
you might learn how to focus.
Yeah, it's like saying, oh, you know, I can't walk. I'm not even going to try because I'll never be able to do that. It's like, well, you'll never be able to do it if you don't try. Do you know what I mean? And then you can apply that to so many other aspects of your life as well. Of like,
don't know if you don't try.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like saying, well, even food. It's like,
exactly,
no,
yeah.
I don't want that. I don't know why. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah. I've been being a lot more adventurous with my food and stuff since, you know, even when I was out there, I was, you know, having loads of mad fruit for breakfast and stuff.
Nice.
And, just trying to keep all that up, you know what I mean? Just trying to like not be as closed-minded with certain things, and yeah, just I mean the main take from it, I think, is just appreciate the little things. Like, life is so much more than what people think it is. Do you know what I mean? It's like
when people put too many pressures on like things like money and stuff like that. Like, yeah, money's useful and it's important, but there's more to life than money. Yeah,
it won't bring you happiness.
No, as much as people say, oh yeah, what is it? Money makes you. No, it doesn't.
No, and if you expect
it brings you, what is it? More problems, if all.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, the people I know.
Without Jay-Z.
Yeah, more money, more problems. Yeah, I fully. You know, money's good. It's good. You know, it's if you want to live comfortably and stuff, it's important.
Yeah.
But, essentially, I think if you look into it to make you happy, it's never going to work. Same with anything, material things, you know, money, clothes, cars, jobs.
How much is enough? That's what you come to.
Exactly,
isn't it?
yeah. And I think the idea is that it's not about, not to sound like really cliche and corny, but it's not about the destination. It's not about arriving at this new thing.
It's the journey.
Yeah, it's the journey. It's about like appreciating what it takes to get there. Do you know what I mean? And like,
it's like the sacrifices you might have to make to get to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
If it makes you a better person, then yeah, you're willing to make them, aren't you?
Exactly, yeah. And it's also just, you know, those things, those material things that can be taken from you at any moment.
Exactly.
So if you're relying on that for happiness, same with, you know, relationships and stuff. If you're in a relationship and you're relying on this other person to make you happy, you're never going to be truly happy.
I think it was a quote from Will Smith that I saw when he was just like, both people need to be happy and then you meet in the middle and share it.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Yeah. And he's obviously had some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to learn to love yourself before you can love someone else, and
Yes.
that's so true as well.
It really is, yeah. If you don't love yourself, if you're not happy, then
It's like I've seen it with people. I've probably done it at some point. Where you come out of a relationship and then you just look for another one, and it's like that's the most unhealthy
doesn't
thing you
work.
can do.
Yeah.
Because then you're still taking all your baggage and problems into this new one.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not have the same problem.
I feel like we've been very insightful and
I
spiritual
know, yeah.
on this one.
To be honest, again, I don't want to be this fucking stereotypical white Westerner dude. Surprised I haven't got fucking blonde dreads or something. I did a month in Thailand. It's not like a fucking, but it really did feel like it changed a lot of my perspective on stuff. Like I have a new understanding of God now, which I've never been religious. You know me. Like I'm not religious. I don't believe in God. I don't believe. I do believe in God, but I don't believe in a man in the clouds.
So what is this new belief there, or what is it like?
So I've always, from my touring days and stuff, I've always believed in energy, like the transfer of energy, and
it's like rooms filled with energy.
Exactly, yeah.
I've seen that. Obviously.
Obviously as a DJ, you felt it's not so much seen as felt for
feeling,
me.
Yeah, or feeling like you're in control and
or just
whatever. Just being amongst it.
Being in this room and just knowing that there's something going on that I can't explain. Do you know what I mean? There's something I can feel all these people, and I liken it a lot to actual religions. When they would have got together and like prayed and stuff, and everyone's chanting and praying. It's probably the same. You could probably feel that.
Yeah.
And again, vibrations and energy and all this stuff. I've always believed in it, but I just never really understood it. Do you know what I mean? So then. There was actually a book that I was reading in Thailand called The Artist's Way. I'm still reading it now. I haven't finished it yet. It's called The Artist's Way.
Yeah.
What's her name? Her name Julia. I can't remember her name. The
You've
lady.
Not brought it with you, have you?
No, I haven't brought it with me. It's at home. But it's basically, I'm pretty sure it's the tagline, but it's a spiritual approach to creativity. So it's basically, it's really interesting. There's certain like things within it that she kind of tells you to do, which is the main one is it's called morning pages. So it's essentially just journaling. But every morning, I've missed a couple of days here and there, but I try to do it every day. You get up and you just write 3 pages of whatever's on your mind. And the idea is that it's unlocking, you have a logic side of your brain and a creative side of your brain.
Yeah.
And you're kind of unlocking all the stuff that's like stuck in your logic side. So like when I first read it, when I first was like, I can't do this. I can't, I've never journaled or anything. I was like, I just wouldn't know what to write. And I was really like, I want to say like against the idea. I was really just like, no, it's not for me. Do you know what I mean? I can't do that. And I was reading the book and she says, if you're against it, if you're resistant to this idea, all the more reason to do it. That's your logic side of your brain trying to protect itself.
Yeah.
So the idea is you just sit down, you just write 3 pages of whatever comes to your mind first thing in the morning. And she said, if you can't think of anything, just write 3 pages of I don't know what to write.
Something will start coming.
And something, you'll never get to the end of that first page without writing something. And so I've been trying to do that as much as I can, and it really feels like it helps. I feel like I've been a lot more productive. I've been drawing a lot more, and it's nice to. It's almost like a bit of therapy for yourself, because it's like I've started asking myself questions in terms of like, if I'm feeling agitated, I'll just write why am I agitated, and then by the time I've written that exclamation mark at the end of that sentence, I'm already writing why I'm agitated.
Yeah, so then you at least you can put it down on paper.
You put it down on paper, and what I've realised is you can only write that 3 or 4 days in a row until you go,
why am I bothered? Yeah.
Well, or I need to do something to change it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to.
If it's in your control.
Exactly.
Least,
yeah. So that's been really interesting. I found that really fascinating, like just the whole kind of approach of this book. Can't remember why I started talking about the book. We were talking about
energies and stuff.
Oh, energies, yeah, spirituality and all that stuff. God, she's the one that. So she said, I'm going to talk about God in this book, but I want you to. I don't want that to put you off. I want you to kind of see God in whichever form you see him as. She doesn't. I don't think she believes in God like a Christian God. Yeah. She calls it good, orderly direction, which is essentially
it's a mindset.
Yeah, it's essentially then, or in inverted commas, flow
Yeah.
or energy. And as soon as I kind of read that, I was like, oh yeah, I do believe in energy. I do believe in consciousness. I believe that, we don't understand consciousness. Like scientists can't pin down what consciousness is.
No.
And I just started thinking maybe that is the universe.
And
maybe
even just karma. I'm a believer of
yeah,
karma
100%.
as well.
Karma's real.
That's
Intuition.
energy.
That's like a big thing for me. That like I've always trusted my intuition.
Judgment of character and stuff like that.
Exactly. Or just if my stomach's saying no, to trust it.
Yeah.
But what I've recently learned, same with meditation, the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more you trust your intuition, the stronger your intuition gets.
Yeah.
And like, it might, it probably sounds like woo-woo to a lot of people. It probably sounds just a bit daft. Do you know what I mean? But it's each to their own. And like, it works for me.
I mean, I think that some imaginary bloke in the sky that met some virgin woman.
Yeah, I mean, that's just daft,
and then he died and came back. Like, but then that's also based on like Horus and stuff like
well,
that.
exactly. I think it all goes. The Son of God. It's like they worship the sun.
Worship.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, you get
long
it.
time ago. But all that stuff, even before I went to Thailand, I got into this thing called Hermeticism.
Right.
You ever heard of it?
No.
So I've got a book up there on Hermeticism. You can't see it from here. So Hermeticism is it. There's no date on it. Nobody knows when it started, when it originated. But it's like, I believe it's a mix of like Greek and Egyptian kind of philosophy, but also like my idea, understanding is it's kind of where a lot of religions stemmed from. These principles and these ideas, and there's 7 principles. I can't name them all. I'm not that.
Are they like the 7 sins?
No, it's a lot more. Feels I wouldn't want to say scientific, but it's a lot more like, it's not rules to live your life. It's more a way of understanding how the universe works. So, for example, one of them is so it's about like energy flow. How people is it linear? Does it go in a circle? And they believe it's a pendulum swing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which when you think of like yin and yang, light and dark, balance, positive, negative,
you need both.
Yeah, what they say is the higher the swing to the left, the higher the swing to the right. So if
you're constantly getting
so if you're a really positive person, you're also going to feel the negativity just as strongly. Do you know what I mean?
And
like these people living on these low
vibrations and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. There's what else is it? I can't remember but all of them, all of 7 of the principles, they just feel like they make sense. Do you know what I mean? It's not like some nonsense stuff. And to say it dates back thousands,
like longer than Christianity.
Yeah, a lot longer. Yeah.
A lot of religion, it's like, when people say, "Oh, you're atheist or you're not religious," it's like, no, but it's like, don't become a bad person. You can have good moral. I mean, surely you don't need a religion to have good morals.
Yeah, but I don't even call myself atheist anymore. I think I'm more agnostic, which is like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there's a man in the clouds telling me how I should live my life. But I also don't know that he doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean?
I think I've heard Ricky Gervais say something like that. It's like, so I was talking to I think, he's on one of the chat shows in America, and he's like, so you're a Christian. He's like, you believe in these 300 religions.
Just one less
I believe
God.
in 301.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Again, that's why I like the whole Buddhist approach, because it's not a religion. Like the Buddha himself, he's not a god. He was just a man that lived. You know what I mean? And he became enlightened.
Can you say that about Jesus? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I do believe Jesus lived. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole with that as well, just watching Passion of the Christ and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've looked into the Shroud of Turin at all. You know what that is?
I've heard of it.
It's like the burial shroud.
Where is it?
It was in Italy for a long time. I don't know where it is now.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it was the royal family in Italy owned it. I don't know where it is now. But, I mean, it must be a few years ago now. It's been, sorry, these needles are just not agreeing.
Wedged in.
Yeah, it's just not agreeing with my machine at all. But yeah, I kind of rewatched it. And, again, I'm not religious, never been religious. Definitely not. If I was religious, it wouldn't be Christianity. No offense to Christians or Catholics or whatever those people believe in. But it was really interesting to watch it. Like I said, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole with this. So the Shroud of Turin, we did a lot of this like scientific. For years, it was literally everybody just considered that it was like a scam, like someone had painted it or drawn it. Because
Right.
do you know what it is? So it's the burial shroud that Jesus was supposed to have been buried in after his crucifixion.
Right.
And it's literally got like an imprint of like a face. It's got holes in the hands, in the feet,
Yeah.
everywhere. He even suffered like a gash on his. Is it the? I forgot what it's called. Summit tail, like
the nine tails.
Yeah. So you see it in the Passion of Christ. He gets whipped with it, and it fucking rips all his flesh off his ribs.
Yeah.
And there's like considerably more blood on this shroud where that, that where
side.
that side where it is, and they've basically like inverted it so it's like a negative of an image, and you can see like a face in it and stuff. But what they've done, all this scientific testing on it, and they're now saying that there is no way that it could have been faked at all.
And even back then, yeah.
Even back then, but the way this image is imprinted, the way the face and stuff is imprinted, the only way, again, through scientific research, the only way that they're saying that this could have been imprinted is through an intense burst of light, through like ultraviolet light or something, which is just
some sort of phenomenon.
Back then, like however old, even if it doesn't date all the way back to Jesus, it's going to be old.
Yeah.
It was discovered however many years after he died. They wouldn't have had that technology to do that. You know what I mean?
So what did it? Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's definitely things
it's
that
a rabbit
like,
hole.
You can't answer it.
Yeah. And to me, that's fascinating. I've not listened to him talk about it too much, but I'm a big Joe Rogan fan.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's gone like Christian and stuff now because of all. I think mainly because of this like Shroud of Turin stuff. I think it's like really made him question his beliefs and stuff. And I just find it fascinating. Like again, I'm not Christian. I don't believe. I believe in Jesus. I believe, if anything, I believe that they were probably, he existed and they probably used it as a way to maybe gain more power, to gain more control. Like, I believe like it was like Jewish people, Judaism was big back then, and that's who killed Jesus, innit? It was the rabbis and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I believe, and I just think it's quite interesting.
After all that, you're like, actually, no, I don't know.
Well, no, I don't believe in Jesus, and it's not going to make me believe in Jesus, but it don't mean I don't find it fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, it is all interesting, and like you say, I believe in energies and like the flow of fucking energy and spirit. I'm a bit more spiritual, like hippie bitch these days.
Yeah, same. But again, that's something that I felt personally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'd have felt the presence of God, maybe Jesus, maybe I'd be.
On the head.
Yeah. I don't think you should ever say never. You know what I mean?
You never know. One day he might speak to you.
Exactly, but he just hasn't yet.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to speak to me, to be honest. But definitely fascinating. Like I say, Thailand was great for that. It really opened up my kind of. Well, it's just now when I hear God, I think of energy. I don't think of a man in. I used to picture a man in the sky.
Yeah, well, it's like what Simpsons portray, I guess. That's a good way of looking at it. Or South Park.
What is it they portray?
When they just fucking do God in heaven.
It's like
exactly. As stereotypical as it could be.
Yeah, I just think that's all a bit daft. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, something about energy and stuff. I know it exists. You know what I mean? I felt it myself.
Yeah, seeing it in action.
And it's
and it's like certain people as well. I feel like certain people just have that or attract that energy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can feel it from
someone just blows up massively, and it's like, wow, they've got something going for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, usually it's graft as well, but it's you need luck and you need this energy as well. I reckon.
Yeah. Karma.
Everything happens for a reason. I'm definitely a believer of that as well.
Yeah. Oh, same. Everything happens for a reason. Trust the universe.
Yeah.
Follow the signs.
Yeah.
I think that all comes into like intuition and stuff as well.
Yeah.
In terms of like, that's just the universe speaking to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Love this. We've probably gone off on.
Yeah, we have gone on a tangent.
Yeah.
So me coming back from Thailand, being a fucking.
Love it.
Hippie.
Been on holiday.
Yeah, been on holiday for a week.
No, at least you've actually come back with some sort of
insight.
like,
Yeah. And again, I like talking
I mean,
about
it's
it.
better
you
than
know,
going to Spain and getting pissed all week and just coming back with a tan and a right bad angle.
Yeah, exactly. You know, again, some people just don't like to hear it. Some people don't want to talk about
Well, it's
it.
because
you know
they're
what I mean?
ignorant,
But,
and ignorance is bliss.
yeah, exactly.
But
at the
certain
same
things I don't
time,
want to hear.
this is a podcast. I'm here to talk about
Yeah, well, you have to
what's
talk
been
about
happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
this is what you've been doing.
Exactly. It says what has been happening, and I'm kind of embracing it, going down the like mindfulness kind of route. Trying to. Oh, I just got fucking grey ink on my jeans.
Wait, will that wash out?
Yeah, yeah. Better do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been a nice journey. And like I say, I got that tattoo in Thailand as well to kind of represent spiritual growth and stuff. So it's all very fitting. And what I was going to say as well, even with what I do with tattooing, I believe this is a transfer of energy.
Yeah.
I believe every time I tattoo someone, not so much me putting ink in them, but like the conversations we
it's
have.
like,
and
it's like you were saying before we started. You'd like it if more tattoo artists did podcasts so you could get to know them before you actually meet them.
Yeah. I think for me, it is such a personal thing that I don't want to, I don't want to get tattooed by dickheads.
As well, sometimes if you meet someone, they're very awkward. You've got to sit there for an hour or two.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's weird energy.
Exactly. Like I say, I'm putting my energy into you.
Yeah.
And I don't want someone. It does, yeah. But I don't want someone putting in their negative energy into me. You know what I mean? I don't want to be carrying around.
It's like if you find out someone's character and that they're like not the kind of person you'd fuck with, and then you've got something for life by them on your skin.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
And then you're getting iron out.
Yeah. Get it off. Yeah.
I've just seen that meme where it's like, "What? Your car's been declined. Get the sandpaper."
Classic one. Yeah.
You ever had out like that?
No, it's never happened to me. I had one guy that didn't have any. His card weren't working.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, there's a cash machine at Endett Road." And he was like, "Yeah, take my car keys. Like, I'm coming back, I promise." And I was like, "It's all right, mate.
Yeah.
Just you know what I mean?"
Good though, at least.
Yeah, no, it was really nice.
Give you his guarantee.
Just done it again. But at the same time, it was like I didn't need that. You know what I mean? I was like, if he wants to mug me off and run away with a couple £100, like that's fine. But you're kind of blacklisted then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're not going to get another.
I like to put my trust in people and give them the benefit of the doubt.
That's all you can do, though, really, isn't it? You got to give people something, otherwise you're never going to build any bridges, really.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's just who I am as well. I'm quite a trusting, loving person. You know what I mean? I think it's a good way to be until someone gives me a reason not to trust or not to love. Like I'll treat everyone with that same kind of.
It's like that. Fuck about and find out.
Yeah, that's it. It would suck if you ran away without paying me.
Yeah.
But karma, I think, I'm not saying it's going to come back to him tenfold, but like, he's the one that's got to live with that. You know what I mean? He's got to live with that fact that, and I guess some people just don't care. But for me personally, I couldn't do that.
Doing it, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that to someone. You know what I mean?
Like you do hear about it, it's just like, well, just a bit fucking ratty, if all.
Yeah. Okay, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
This is what you got to do. You see, like even sometimes when you hear bad things about someone, it's like, well, I've not dealt with them
100%.
face to face.
That's something I've learned a lot, especially since it's tattooing.
Especially in Sheffield as well.
Yeah,
that does go around,
it's
doesn't
like
it?
a little village, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, especially in tattooing. Like, there's been a few people. Like, I'm not going to name names or anything, but like a few people that I've worked with who, different people have come to me like, "Oh, yeah, be careful about this person. He's got a reputation. He does this. He does that." And then I'm like, well. Then I find out that this person that's saying this negative stuff used to work for this person, and now they don't.
And they got sacked.
They got sacked, and it's just like, well, yeah, you've got your negative energy connotations and stuff.
Like that's your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Let me make up my own mind. Unless it's obviously something really fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Like, someone's done something really horrible, then I'd question it a little bit more. You know what I mean? But, I just think. Yeah, everyone's. I mean, that's something else I find really interesting. Not to bring it back to the mindfulness stuff, but one thing that I kind of learned is that nobody knows the real you. Everybody's.
Sometimes I don't think you know the real you.
Yeah,
we go through that much growth ourselves.
Yeah,
as well.
Exactly. Yeah, but everybody has a different understanding of who you are based on what you've shown them.
Yeah, and
And it's
everyone
not,
could be something
that's
different.
not, yeah. And I think it's important to remember that in terms of like yourself as well. Like you don't know me the way I know me.
It's like even if you knew me 10 years ago, you don't know me now. So
No,
that's a different version
exactly.
of me.
Yeah. And it's just get used to the idea that people know different versions of you.
People should be constantly growing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know plenty of people don't, but there's plenty of people like you should be really.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, don't compare yourself to other people, but compare yourself to yourself yesterday.
So I said it on the podcast yesterday. I'm going to repeat it. My mic had died by that point. So comparison is the thief of joy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good quote. Yeah,
Seneca, I think, or Marcus Aurelius, one of them.
Yeah, Stoic.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of that, and then other one. I'm going to fucking drop it again. So I like it. These quotes are good. What is it? The biggest weight you can shed is the opinion of others.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's
certain things. It's like, especially if it's people, it's like, why do you give a fuck what they think?
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's good to have these like little mantras and stuff as well. These little things that for me, like again, it's the same with meditation. The more you practice these kind of sayings and these ideas, the more they just pop up when it's relevant, and it just reminds you. Do you know what I mean? That like, yeah, it's not that deep. You know what I mean, or whatever. Like I have a bunch. I can't really think of any now, but I definitely have like mantras, things that. I mean, my biggest one was always don't cry over spilt milk.
Yeah.
In terms of like, if something happens, being upset or stressed about it, it's not gonna fix it. All it's doing is delaying the fixing.
It's just draining energy from you that you could be using for something more positive.
Exactly, more productive. It's like, so like, say you drop, let's go super fucking obvious, but like you drop a glass of milk. And that milk's, the glass is smashed, the milk's all over the floor. You getting upset and stressing and shouting, it's not fixing that glass. It's not putting that milk back in the jug. Do you know what I mean? So all you're doing is wasting time until the point where you can then sit down and fix it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, that's always been a big one for me in terms of like, don't get me wrong, like I have recently learned that like things like stress and stuff do serve a purpose. Like everybody gets stressed. Do you know what I mean? Everybody gets angry. If people say they don't, then they're lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the whole
in different ways as well, don't
Well, yeah, the idea is how you deal with that stress or how you deal with that anger. Like, can you use it positively? Do you know what I mean? Can you take it and looking again? That's where meditation comes in a lot. Just focusing on your breath work and stuff, and just taking a moment just to think like, why do I feel this way? Do you know what I mean? Listening to that voice in your head rather than reacting. You know what I mean? Which I think is great. I think it's a great way to live. Do you know what I mean? Personally, I think the world would be a better place if more people just took a second to just before they react. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right, instead of seeing red.
Yeah.
But then again, that's the chimp. That's the chimp reacting faster. Yeah. I feel like everything we're saying is coming back around here as well. Innit? All you fans out there for Tom, he's got plenty of convo here. I mean, it's one of them. Have you done any other podcasts other than this?
No.
So somewhere where people can get to know you a bit.
And that's it. Like we said, I think it's nice, especially like as a tattoo artist. Like I would love to have a bit more insight into artists' lives before I trust them to adorn my body with certain things. Do you know what I mean? And it's again going back to the conversation of like these old school guys and stuff. A lot of them aren't kind of embracing the new, nowadays everything's online. It's all social media. People are showing themselves. Yeah. And a lot of them hate it. They're like, oh, I don't want to be an influencer. Which is fine. But then it's like, you need to understand that like, people like me, I want to know what kind of person you are before I trust you to tattoo me. Do you know what I mean? I think back in the day, there's only so many people tattooing. So you didn't really have that luxury. Do you know what I mean?
You were like, you get a local bloke, really, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. You just go to, you know what I mean? Like, I got my first tattoo when I was 16, and I had to go to a few studios before I found one that would tattoo me. Do you know what I mean? Which is very naughty. I wouldn't recommend it.
I was 17. I think I was got a mate got to do mine. Yeah, I think I DJ'd at his birthday or something. Like, how much what paying? Like, I went to tattoo me, and I got him then.
I was going to name the studio, but I don't know if I should actually. But to be fair, it was my deception.
All right.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't.
Yeah. I say don't start telling people underage where they can go and get tats.
No, I mean, I don't think they would do it anymore
I
anyway.
say Altar, that's where you need to go.
I'll be checking IDs. Challenge 25. That's
Say,
what I
where's
do.
your sign?
It's up there to be fair. Oh, it's behind that.
Oh, it's hidden.
It's hidden. Yeah. We do challenge 25 here though. If you look under 25, I'll be asking for your ID.
Yeah, see, he's doing it proper. I mean, you've got to though. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
covering your own back
Yeah,
still,
I've got
isn't
a
it?
license to. We also don't do walk-ins here because of the bar.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
just drunk people coming in and
Getting a tat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus it's just a bit nicer anyway. I quite
Yeah.
like doing appointment only. It's
Well, you know who you're getting, how many things you got in
Yeah.
a day. You can plan your days as you see fit.
I'm not
then.
just sat here waiting for people to come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to walk in now, I do them in Manchester.
There
the
you
Manchester
go. Quick
Social.
plug.
There you go. Yeah,
Where are you going for that then?
Manchester Social. It's on South King Street in Manchester.
When's
A
that?
real nice studio. I work there on Fridays.
So it's every week.
Every Friday, yeah. I'll be in there this Friday.
I think this will be out probably a week or two. So
Yeah.
you go to see him. This will be out on a Friday though. So if you're in Maddie, listening, you go see
Yeah,
Tom.
come and get a tat.
Yeah.
Love to.
But if you're doing it on any other day of the week, you got to book it.
Yeah. Any other day, yeah, you gotta get in touch.
Yeah, it's just good that it's blown up as much as it has, and it's just keeping you busy.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for what I do. Like, I love this job. I love all my clients are amazing. You know what I mean? I'm really lucky that I don't get people like wasting my time too much and messing me around. And
But I guess a lot of it, people do like you pop up flash stuff anyway.
Yeah,
so,
exactly, yeah.
Like, you know what you're doing. But then I guess, have you had any like interesting requests yet or commissions?
yeah, I've done a bunch of like.
I'm just looking
I feel
at some
like,
of the ones
my mind goes
behind you,
blank. I need to
yeah.
look at my wall.
Not even the ones with the swords, like you were saying, that one.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
Jordan's
sword.
dad.
Yeah.
Jordan's dad. That was a cool one to do.
And that dog at top's cool as well.
Yeah, that's a dude from Doncaster. He's a tattoo artist as well. He's actually coming to guest here at the end of the year.
Nice.
But that was a fun one to do. Yeah, there's like, I think it's nice if you look at their MF Doom one. I did that for Dan G's girlfriend.
Nice.
There's a nice mix of stuff going on. I try not to limit my, I love to do the bold stuff. I do say it's traditionally inspired, kind of old school inspired stuff, but I don't want to like pin myself down too much in terms of like a style. So I don't call myself like a traditional artist.
Are you going to do any tribal tats?
I never have done, but I would.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's like I feel like it's kind of coming back.
Yeah,
in
it definitely is.
in
Yeah.
well, it's like kind of blended. It's
Yeah,
like a hybrid style
yeah,
now,
there's like
isn't
a
it?
new kind of tribal going on.
See, I just always remember that episode. I feel like it's like sweet tribal, bro. What
Yeah.
tribe you from?
Yeah. Well, it's all this cyber sigilism stuff now, which is
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'd like to get doing some more like fine line stuff. What I do is so bold. I'd love to just flip it and do. The studio I work at in Manchester, they're known for their fine line stuff. Every artist in there, yeah, it's all fine line kind of portraits and like super real, hyper realism kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All the artists in there are incredible. You should check
Where
it
it
out.
looks like someone's took a chunk out your arm. Kind
Yeah,
of thing. You got like
yeah.
robot arms.
Oh yeah, all that kind of stuff.
There's loads of memes on that as well. And it's like when you've done your first session of your hyperrealism, it's like you've got like a little box done or something. You've got a tiny bit. Well, it's because
it's a completely different process. But that's why I want to learn it, because I just feel like every style you learn, every technique you learn, it all
surely you can utilize them in other places then as well.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's like DJing techniques or knowing certain songs that will work with others. That
exactly. Yeah, it becomes
expected.
second nature, doesn't it? You kind of get to a point where you just like, and then it's again, some of the artists in Manchester do it as well, but like mixing those styles together, doing something really bold, but then having some fine line portrait stuff in there.
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
I just think it's nice. I just think I want to be doing this for as long as I can, and I want to be as good as I can at it. Do you know what I mean?
So
And
learning as many different styles, and well, it's just building your versatility up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking doing a good job here.
It's on your hand, isn't it? I've got to.
Yeah, innit? Everyone's going to see this. Please don't get. No, I don't know. I've not even been checking her out.
No,
Well,
you've
I've
sat
right
good,
well.
yeah. Sat real good.
Yeah, it's just say hand ain't as bad
How's
as.
it? Is it feeling all right?
It's a bit sore, but
Yeah.
so it should be. I can
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah, I guess you don't come
Oh,
for
fucking
it.
hell, I can feel that.
Yeah, that's right on your knuckle. Sorry. I feel like I'm really rubbing you down as well now.
Yeah, I hate touch.
That was one of my most painful tattoos, I think.
I may say we've done a couple of mine, but like I said, he has also. I've had some since, and he's
He's
lightened.
better now,
Well,
yeah.
he's started using thinner liners and stuff.
Does he use these, or is he still on coils?
I don't think he uses shaders for doing lining anymore.
Yeah.
Again, it's been a year or two since I've had a tattoo off tattoo.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck that sentence up.
It's a tongue twister, that, isn't it?
But yeah, shout out tattoo every time. Such a lovely guy as well.
Yeah.
Can love him. To be
He's
fair, I
been
might have to go and do one of these with him.
Yeah, you should do.
So yeah, if you're a tattoo artist chef and you want to tattoo me and chat about it, get in touch, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a fun experience.
Yeah, it's something different, even for me. We're probably going to get to places where it sucks, and I'm going to be like, oh, trying to say something.
Yeah,
like, I can't even talk.
Think straight as well. Like I've definitely been
yeah.
doing that a few times. Where like mid conversation, I'm like, it's got to concentrate for a second. But
Yeah,
I think people will understand, especially if you're watching the video.
yeah.
It should hopefully make more sense.
Some people still listen, I think. So
Yeah.
still, I mean, there's not loads to watch, really, is there? But
No,
you
not
just
loads
watch
to
it.
see,
It's like a slowly paced thing.
Yeah.
Yes, give me that wet.
Yeah, does that feel good?
Yeah. It's like when you're hungover on holiday and you jump in pool.
Yeah. Instant, just.
Yeah, it's like I feel fresh again.
Yeah. I've been hitting the ice baths a little bit.
Oh
in
yeah.
The corner.
What? Where's that?
It's a place called Rise.
That's literally like down the road from me.
Is it?
Yeah. Ooh, what, they got ice baths?
You got ice baths and do like a ice bath. It's called Fire and Ice. You do like an ice bath and then get in the sauna. And that's does wonders for
So
you.
what's that for though? What's that benefiting?
Bit of everything. It's so that's like a recovery kind of spa. It's all for like, you know, for me it's for my knee.
Yeah.
We're trying to get my knee feeling better and stuff. But it's good for your mental health as well. What they say, you know, the ice baths and stuff. It's just, I guess it's like probably the same idea as meditating and stuff. It's just helping you be more present. And
Can you do them together? Probably.
Yeah. There's like 4 baths.
You've never done one of them? What is it? Them isolation tanks?
I haven't, no, the flotation things. Yeah,
I've got past a business card by my mate to go and do one for like a discount.
One in Sheffield, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in an orange now. Like, I feel like I might actually lose my mind in there.
Yeah. I'd like to try it, to be fair. Like I say, getting into meditation and stuff, it'd probably be a good practice. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just even more. It's like there's no distractions whatsoever.
Exactly.
Then you've got to
in your
be
head,
with the mindfulness.
Got to be comfortable in your own space, which is good. I think that people should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not worse than not feeling comfortable in your own body.
Exactly.
That's right. Like, I'm losing my fucking soul. To be fair, I think I've got that hand done by Earl. Told Earl Rain, shout out again. And then we did the podcast after.
Yes.
But by that point, obviously, since we'd been talking all this, like by the time we came to do pod, we just both had silly heads on, so we were just chatting absolute mental baba. Like, we're right funny.
Easily done, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I bet that makes for a good podcast, though. Mine's probably been quite boring for some people.
Well,
talking about spirituality.
I feel like it's.
If you're not into it,
I've been interested by it,
good,
so yeah. If you're not, then that's on you, innit?
Yeah.
So I always say, if you don't like it, fuck off.
No one's forcing you to listen to this
podcast. Yeah, you don't have to subscribe, but if you did, we'd really like that. Please do that, and don't forget to hit the bell.
Oh, you've got all the.
I've been watching plenty of people on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I feel like I've done this a bit more now.
Yeah, you've got to do those things, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a beg, but you know, I'll ask if you want to do it. That's fine. You can support the channel any way you like, even if that means not watching it whatsoever.
But ideally, you should come and watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, I remember think it was the last one we did. I remember your mum coming up with AirPods in. She's like, just been listening to you and Tom.
Oh yeah.
She's like, really
Oh, yeah,
enjoyed
you've
it.
still been
Yeah.
working, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got loads of compliments and stuff on that.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's a chance for people to get to know you a bit.
Exactly, yeah.
Round two, hopefully,
I've
not
never-
the same again. And also, since I remember when I was listening, or when I read it first, well, I feel like at first you were a bit reserved, but then by the end of it, you come out your shell.
Yeah, I was definitely nervous. I definitely
Yeah.
felt a bit more confident coming into this. Like,
Yes.
maybe not confident the word, but just a bit more like knowing what to expect.
Relaxed.
Relaxed. Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think before I was just worried I'd say something that I shouldn't say or something. Do you know what I mean?
That's probably when I was still saying at start, like, don't cancel yourself and don't say
Yeah,
out like that.
yeah.
And then some other people said that as soon as I said that, I put that in their head, and then they were shitting themselves.
Overthinking it,
Yeah, funny. I like that.
Yeah.
Keep overthinking it. Oh, nice. Oh, I just realised this side's sunny side, isn't it? So,
Yeah, it is. Well, there was a little bit just in that top corner. I might add in. Or we can leave it sunny side if you want.
I mean, it's rare we get sunny days in Shin.
Yeah. We should just black it out.
No.
I want to put a little bit more grey and stuff in
Yeah,
to the clouds and just hit some lines again, but pretty much done. Gonna hit that line down there again as well. It's looking nice though.
Yeah, definitely. Buzzing with this. Well, that's what I mean sometimes. Until you've got shading in or colour,
Yeah,
you never know what you're going to get. Yeah. You done any colour yet?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit of colour.
Something you were saying before, like you started to. Yeah, I think you said you're starting to get into it a bit.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. It's just I don't know if I said this last time, but so for me, when I'm kind of drawing stuff, whether it's flash or for clients, I kind of draw it with like me in mind. So like I draw it for myself. You know what I mean? It's just like I draw it to a point where I would be happy to get it tattooed, and then that's how I know that it's like ready to be tattooed.
It's up to your standard.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I would get it, then I'm happy. And for me, these days I only really get black tattoos, so like I just kind of just stick to black. Do you know what I mean? I have been thinking recently I'd like to draw some flash. I'm working on like a Palestine flash sheet.
Yeah.
I want to put out and sell prints and donate money to a good cause and stuff. And I'm thinking it'd make sense to do some colour in that with a flag and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Or just utilise just them colours.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
just real strong kind of colour palette of just the red and the black and the green. I mean, they're kind of traditional colours anyway. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it would work.
You got any festivals outlined up this year?
I think I'm going to go to Download this weekend.
Oh, I think I'm there on Sunday.
Oh yes, you did. We did speak about
this. Well, in fact, now this will be out by then, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm DJing
Just drop yourself in it then.
Yeah, in it for a second. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, DJing Malevolated after party on Sunday, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Baseline at the Metal Fest.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
They always love that shit, though, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, in fact, we were there in Malta when they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that. Yeah. Went down a treat.
It did, yeah.
I've seen video. I think some guy break his leg, actually.
I'm not sure. Was he staged out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to it anyway. I mean, seeing Korn again. I went to see them last year down in London. That was sick.
Yeah.
They're headlining, so
yeah,
up for
good.
that.
Yeah.
And then I can't really remember who else is playing. It's just a day out, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I'm getting to an age now where I'm not really down to go stand in a muddy, wet field. So I'm just hoping the weather holds out.
Oh, no.
By the looks of it, I know you can't predict it this far in advance, but looks like it's going to rain in the morning, maybe on Saturday, and then hopefully clear up for the evening. So we shall see, essentially. Yeah.
I'll just. Luckily, my housemate's going, so I'll just text them on Sunday. Like, what's weather like? Do I need my boots?
What am I wearing?
Yeah. Is it waterproof or is it shorts? Or is it both? Sometimes you get that.
Yeah, it could be a bit of both, couldn't it?
Yeah, when you just like rate sweaty, but also rate wet and moist.
I was going to see if you've still got any, those drop dead ponchos.
Oh, I bet there's fucking loads on top floor still.
There was, yeah.
Yeah, every time. I remember it. There were definitely some pop-up thing where we were passing them all out, so we were pissing it down there, weren't it?
Need to find some of them out.
Yeah. Yeah, top floor. I bet there's all sorts of mad stuff still up there.
There is.
I mean, like I said, people don't know how much crazy stuff is in this building.
Oh, no, yeah. It's just a fucking madhouse, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of madhouse, where's your dad?
He'll be around somewhere.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he's here somewhere doing something. You know what he's like, he never stops.
Yeah. Cracks me up though. He is off his rocker, I swear.
Yeah.
In the best way.
Yeah, I
though.
was just going to say in the best possible way.
Yeah. It's never a dull moment.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what he's going to be like as a granddad.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
He'll smash it, I reckon.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll chill out.
Doubt it.
Still remember that time. I think it was last year. Yeah, it was that. It must have been that weekend when you opened this, you know, when they played. I remember doing after party here and then calling him out and being like, if anyone wants a photo with all his dad, he's all there in the corner.
No, I bet he loved that
He
though.
come out and I come up at end at night. She's like, I was stood there for 2 hours, you bastard.
Yeah.
You fucking little shit. I was laughing my head off. Like, you love it.
Yeah,
what
you
you
know,
on about?
I know for a fact that he will love that. Well, I'm working on a little owl for my. Unfortunately, I've got to do the blades as well, but for my
Yeah.
Sheffield flash sheet.
You got to take this off.
Yeah, I will do it. Yeah.
Oh, like, yeah, go on then.
No, I will do.
So this one's taken now,
Yeah.
and it's not like it's hidden.
Yeah, this is yours, this mate.
I've got my Springfield Towers.
The Homer Simpson tap.
Yeah. Oh no, it's good though. It's very good. And yeah, what else is going on? Obviously, you said Endo's bottle.
What's
What
that?
else is going on this flash sheet? Chef flash
Oh
sheet.
yeah, I got obviously Henderson's has got to be on there. I need some ideas really. I was going to do like a classic 0114.
Yeah.
Seems
Well,
quite
something
fun.
I'm probably not going to get today, but I want to come and get. You remember the old Lives and Levels 505?
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's
that's
some I'm working on an Arctic Monkeys flash sheet as well, so
Yeah.
some of them could possibly cross over. Do you know what I mean?
sick. That's all good then.
I've kind of redrawn. Alex Turner's got like a Yorkshire Rose.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I've kind of redrawn that in my style and stuff, which I think is quite cool.
Sick.
So like, that could potentially go on the old Sheffield flash sheet as well, double up.
Yeah, try to think what other landmarks or just iconic things.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's like it's not just landmarks, but it's stuff that's going to look cool as a tattoo. You know, it's stuff that people are bothered about enough to get tattooed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and obviously this.
Yeah, this
I've
is
told
a
a couple
classic.
of people about this anyway, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, that's a fucking 6 yards." Like
Yeah.
it's just a memoir of. Well,
I
it's
think-
a memory from back in the day, but
I think the
also-
fact that it's been knocked down as well, it's
Yeah.
almost like martyred now. Do you know what I mean? It's,
exactly. Not sit down in the middle at night.
Yeah.
I wish I could have gone to that.
Same. I didn't go either.
Yeah, I know people who went and I think that's when I was at college and people went and like shot it, you know, filmed it or
Yeah.
took photos and stuff.
Yeah. There's a hole in the road, but I'm not sure how I would even
Yeah, big hand tap, big
do
circle.
that.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Helmet Row's a hard one.
It's obviously another classic landmark that's not there anymore, but
What about them blokes that statues at Meadow
yeah,
Hall?
statues of Market Street, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the steel forgers, weren't they?
Yeah. Then there's the female ones now as well, aren't there?
Yeah.
In town.
Well, them ones, yeah, outside City Hall. That's really cool. That one.
Yeah.
The gold post box, but I suppose a few places have got them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I'll tell you what, if you've got any recommendations, send them
Yeah.
to Tom. Let the
If you
people
got-
speak.
If you've got any ideas for
Yeah.
Sheffield,
Sheffield flash sheet, what would you put on it?
exactly.
Something to do with snooker. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, obviously. Crucible.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know if that'll still be there next year.
Even just a crucible could be kind of cool, can't it?
Yeah, it's cool. Well, it's mad shape, interesting building.
Crucible's something to do with steel as well, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
what
yeah, an actual crucible.
Yeah. I think we're done. I think we'll leave it there and we'll see how it heals, and
Yeah.
then we can add some more if we need to.
Yeah. It looks done to me.
Yeah.
Feels done, fucking hell. No, that works.
So the only thing I'll say is
Yeah, not
knuckles are a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
It could fall out a little bit, but I'd rather put it back in at a later date
Yeah.
than overwork it
Like I say,
now.
I just press play every now and again. And
Yeah,
I don't
exactly,
do
it
loads
should
of
be
my
fine,
own. No manual labour for me. No more lifting boxes upstairs. None of that.
None of that shit.
Leave
Yeah.
that to Mike, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet.
yeah. Sick.
How was that?
Stingy, especially
Show
now
the
you've
camera.
ended it. Right, this is what we've ended up with.
Get some light on it.
Yeah, bring that round.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it stings, but it's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's filled the gap on the top of your wrist nicely as well. Looks sick. Yeah.
Looks weird already, you know. Just
it's gonna be weird. Yeah, I remember when I got my hands done. It was very much like, oh shit, like, because even when you're wearing a jumper or something,
it's just
there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Any photos?
But it's cool. I've had mine for years now, and I still love them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's still.
It's going to be fitting other things in round now.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's filled that gap well. Nice.
Yeah, smashed it. Big ups. Make sure you don't right up knuckle.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Right. I guess we should probably stop this now. So yeah. What else you want to say before?
Not that I could think of. Just I'm here.
Yeah. Tom Sykes, Altar Tattoo. Yeah.
In the same building as church. I should come out myself.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, talk to the camera.
Right. In the same building as church, Temple of Fun, Drop Dead. AltarSheffield.com is my website.
Yeah, you got what's Insta handle?
Insta just at Altar Sheffield, but I think I might have to change it soon. I've been thinking about just changing it back to my name because I'm working in Manchester as well.
So now, yeah,
I think it's a bit confusing.
This is your studio. And then,
this is my studio, but I think my page should be like my art.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Well, I remember the last first episode, we put down your name.
Yeah.
I feel like, did we say about that? You were like, should we call it Altar? And I was just like, oh, it's you in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we'll do that again anyway.
Yeah. Altar Sheffield for the time being. AltarSheffield.com, that'll stay the same. You can see Flash on there, and if you want to make a booking or just an inquiry, if you want to drop me a message, any questions or anything, I'm always happy to kind of help with anything.
Don't forget, give him some inspiration for Sheffield
flash sheet. Got ideas for Sheffield tats, send them my way.
Yeah, then come and get them done.
And then come and get them tattooed. I tell you what, anyone who gives me an idea that I use, I'll tattoo it on you for free.
There you go, that's sick.
That's a little...
How big? That big?
Yeah, as big as you want it. I'll do a full back piece if you want. It's a good enough idea.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of, you give me something, I'll give you something back.
That's very nice. So yeah, get involved with that, definitely. Yeah. And I don't think I've got out to add other than I'm very hungry now. So
yeah, I'm starving as well.
Yeah, right. Let's call it quits then.
Wrap this up.
Right. Like, subscribe, follow, all that shit. You know how we go. And see you in a bit.
And yeah, cheers for having me on again.
Always.
Appreciate it. Yeah, do it that way so I'm not touching you.
Yeah, right.
Nice one.